With the stroke of a pen, President Biden can set the ball rolling on a process that would increase the wages of more than 350,000 people, and he should do it. Let me explain. There are a lot of people talking about raising the federal minimum wage to $15 an hour, including President Biden.
At the time we had a $15 an hour minimum wage.
But Congress is the only one that can raise the federal minimum wage. It typically requires a 60-vote majority in the Senate, and though a $15 minimum wage is extremely popular among the public, right now there are not enough senators willing to vote for it. The president does have the authority to increase the minimum wage of workers on federal contracts. Every year, the federal government spends hundreds of billions of dollars on contracts. Workers on those contracts and subcontracts do everything from building interstate highways to answering questions on COVID-19 safety measures at CDC call centers, to cleaning federal buildings, to caring for veterans receiving VA benefits, to serving concessions at national parks. The precise number of workers on federal contracts isn't known, but it's likely on the order of 2 million people. The current federal contracting system leaves many of these contract workers facing low wages and poor working conditions. The contracting system prioritizes low prices for contracts for routine services that are typically provided by low-wage workers. And this means there is an incentive for contractors to cut corners with respect to things like worker pay. Federal contractors have been frequently caught violating wage and hour laws, or, put another way, stealing workers' wages. This both hurts workers and puts contractors who treat their workers fairly at a competitive disadvantage. The Obama administration published a regulation in 2014 that increased the minimum wage for federal contractors to $10.10 and provided for automatic updating every year. Right now, it's at $10.95 an hour. But even that regulation is modest in today's context. A $15 minimum wage for federal contractors would give a raise to more than 350,000 low-wage workers. And these are workers who are likely to be disproportionately people of color and women because of things like occupational segregation, discrimination, and other labor market disparities related to structural racism and structural sexism. President Biden has already set the preliminary work in motion. This must proceed with all urgency, and the administration should not just increase the minimum wage for workers on federal contracts, it should also eliminate all sub-minimum wages for tipped workers, youth workers, and workers with disabilities, and it is also important to make sure federal contract workers have the same ability to enforce their rights as any other workers if their wages are stolen or their rights are violated on the job. President Biden wants a $15 minimum wage. It would be an important step in that direction to leverage the hundreds of billions of dollars of taxpayer money spent each year by the federal government on contracts and subcontracts, and to use that to improve the pay of hundreds of thousands of low-wage federal contract workers.